Hello, this is Lucinda Brown with Bible Buying Guide, and today we're looking at the NASB Journal the Word Reference Bible published by Zondervan. This is the 1995 New American Standard Bible translation text. This Bible was provided by Zondervan in exchange for an honest review. Now it comes in a thin cardboard slipcover. I was going to show me taking the Bible out of the slipcover on camera, but it's a tight fit, and that just took too long for a video review. I have the leather-like overboard version of this Bible. They call it brown. To me, it's a very reddish brown. It's darker on the back, same color on the spine where we have the name embossed. And then most of the cover is a slightly lighter reddish brown. It has all of this gold stitching, some of it which is obviously purely decorative, but gives it a little more interest to the cover. I like that they've included that the perimeter stitching on the inside is the same shade of gold. And of course it has a paper paste down lining. There are two attached ribbon markers. They're about 1/4 inch wide. One's brown and one's gold. This is a sewn binding, which is not always the easiest thing to show you, to find a good place to show you on the inside. And it was printed in China. The paper is a nice white, very white, so it won't interfere with any colored highlighters or inks or art supplies that you use in it. It's nice and thick. We're guessing upper 30 GSMs. It could even be 40, but don't quote me on that. But it's nice paper. It is in a single column, verse by verse format. And we have large quotes offset. Poetry is set in a form of stanza. The lists just look like regular Bible text, though. It is a red letter edition. So we have the words of Christ in red in the Gospels and even in Revelation. The three colors of text. We have the black, that is the standard text through most of the Bible, the brighter red, that is the words of Christ, and then we have this darker red that they've used for section headings, chapter numbers, the guide verse and page number up here in the heading, and then also the pilot verses for the references and the footnotes. There aren't a whole lot of footnotes in here. Most of them seem to be translation notes, but I'm sure that's common to the NASB translation. The ink does seem to be consistent. The black stays a consistent shade all the way throughout the Bible. Both reds seem to stay the same color all the way through, so that is nice. Nice, consistent ink color. Now the references have been centered top to bottom. Like this page, you can't hardly tell. They would take up the same amount of space. But here, rather than kept straight out from the verse they're referenced to, they've been put equal distance but centered top to bottom. I personally prefer the ones out next to the verses, but with the red pilot verses, these aren't very, and with them, of course, them being in order, these aren't very hard to find, much harder to use, so I appreciate that. And the centering does make it much neater, makes it easier when you have like a short verse that you want to give more than one reference to. And it also does give you a little bit of writing or room for artwork top and bottom on most of the pages, so that's nice. The outer margin, which is of course main thing in a journaling Bible, and I'm going to pause right here. As far as I know, This is the first journaling Bible available in the NASB translation, and I am so glad they finally made one, because I know there are a lot of people who love the NASB who have been wanting a journaling Bible. I think it would be great if we could have journaling Bibles in all the translations and make different ones that fit different purposes. So I'm glad to see this Bible. Now the margins are 2 inches wide. They have 40 light lines evenly spaced in them that are about 1 3/4 long. I love the light lining that's common in the Journal the Word Bibles. It makes note-taking and hand lettering so much easier to keep neat and even, but keeping the lines light means that you can put graphs or charts or artwork in the margins, and the lines just hardly ever interfere with that. They're barely noticeable. It's really nice. This Bible does include a couple of extra little lists here in the back. We have the miracles of Jesus and the parables of Jesus set up kind of like a harmony of the Gospels rather than complete harmony. We have perspectives from the Bible, what to read when you're tempted to be bitter, when the future seems hopeless, you struggle with apathy, you're starting a new job, some suggested passages to read. Similar to that, we have the promises from the Bible. God's promise when you feel guilty or impatient, fail, things like that. And then we also have these prayers divided up in section, prayers from of the Old Testament, some prayers from the Psalms, because of course prayers from the Psalm, almost all of Psalms are prayers, so that would be a much longer list. Prayers from the prophets, prayers of Jesus, prayers of the New Testament, and prayers of Paul. While these things aren't necessary, this would be very nice when you're looking for specific topics, or when you need a verse on a particular topic, or you're looking for something to journal. It's also just makes it a little bit more multi-purpose to have some sort of additional tools or helps in a Bible. All in all, I think this is a very nice journaling Bible. Like I said, I'm so glad they finally made an NASB one. The Journal the Word Bibles have always been, I think they're really good basic journaling Bibles. This is a comfort print text that was designed by 2K Denmark. It is the NASB comfort print. 2K Denmark did a different comfort print for each translation. Let's see. And then you can see the ink colors better, I think, too. Let's bring it just a little closer. Hopefully that'll stay in focus. That'll be in focus good enough for you to get a good look at the text and the various colors of ink. All of the comfort print texts are so beautiful. Knowing that a lot of preachers like to use the NASB translation, and at least some of them like to put their own notes in the Bible they preach from, Randy took a look at this Bible with that use in view. The main concern would be the 8.5 point font. He knows that's a little small for a lot of preachers to use, especially from a pulpit. In its favor, the text is nice and clean and well done. So that makes it a little easier to read, even at that small size. The paper is nice and thick and easy to turn pages. And another great feature for preaching is that it will lay flat all the way from the first page of Genesis to the last page of Revelation without any trouble. That means you never have to worry about references, notes, or even the biblical text getting lost in the gutter or being hard to read. So if you can use a smaller text size, especially if you like the NASB translation and like to have your notes in your Bible. This is definitely one worth looking at. All in all, the NASB Journal the Word Reference Bible is a nice basic journaling Bible and a welcome addition to the journaling Bible lineup. Just the fact that it is an NASB will make it a very welcome addition to all the people who love this translation and have wanted a journaling Bible. On top of that, the Journal the Word series has always been a nice Bible, good basic Bibles that took into consideration both journaling with words and more creative forms, and tried to do the best compromise between what was best for the two that they could, while not making it hard for the other. And I think they've always done a good job. They've also listened to the market, to the people who buy these Bibles, and have, over the course of the Journal the Word series, have put the whiter paper, have added features that are frequently requested, like references and the words of Christ in red. And they start with nice, good, basic covers like this one, or the black hardcover that this Bible is also available in. And then, if there is an interest, add more and more covers so that there is always a Journal the Word Bible for anyone who wants a journaling Bible. This, if you like the NASB and if you are looking into a journaling Bible, this is your only choice on the market, but thankfully it is a really good one. This is a nice quality basic journaling Bible. If you want more information about this Bible, be sure to follow the links below to our written review. There will also be a link to where this Bible could be purchased. And if you like Bible Buying Guide, be sure and like, subscribe, push the notification button. Let us know what other Bibles you would like us to do video reviews of, and give us your feedback on all of our reviews. Thank you for listening. It comes in a paper slipcover, and this is a tight fit.